What you just saw there was my new monitor. I've been in the market for a good monitor forever, but I've never actually pulled the trigger on a good one until now. I have used a collection of cheaper monitors or monitors from work for a few years now, but given I'm always using this thing to either program, edit videos on Final Cut, and edit photos, I figured it was probably time to make a proper investment on a monitor that will make me a happy programmer. So I got this bad boy. This is the LG 34WP88C 34-inch ultra-wide QHD curved monitor. And it's mounted on an awesome ergonomic stand, which we'll take a closer look at later. Okay, so let's get the specs out of the way. This is a 21:9 aspect ratio, hence ultra-wide, and the resolution is 3440 by 1440 pixels. It's a QHD monitor, and what that means is that it's higher resolution than traditional HD, but it's not quite 4K. Getting 4K into one of these ultra-wide monitors is, well, it's out of my price range. It has an IPS display, which means it's very color accurate. And it's also compatible with HDR10. On the back, we have two HDMI ports, a display port, two standard USB ports, and a USB-C port, which outputs 96 watts of power. This was a big selling point for me because it means I can use the monitor and charge my MacBook Pro with one cable. The array of connections on the back also allows me to use the monitor as a USB hub, which I love. This Ergo stand that it comes with was a big reason I decided to go with this monitor. It clamps onto my desk, which means there's no clunky stand taking up precious space on the desk. Not that it's a small desk, but I always manage to find a way to make it feel small. The stand allows the monitor to move back and forth, left and right, up and down, and it can also tilt up and down too. It's kind of like a wall mount without the hassle of wall mounting. I love the flexibility of position on this monitor as I've been able to experiment with the best ergonomic positioning for me. Also, when my partner uses my desk, she can easily maneuver it so that it suits her eye line and seating position too. Also, and I'd be the first to admit that my cable management needs serious work, but the Ergo stand for this monitor is hollow through the middle and allows you to pass the power cable and other cables if you want through the stand so they're not hanging out the bottom of the monitor. It's a nice touch. Okay, now to the serious business. What's it actually like as a monitor? When I first plugged it into my Mac, which if you're keeping track at home, is an M1 Pro MacBook Pro, I actually thought it lacked some contrast. I think part of the problem I had was I was comparing it to the impeccable display of the MacBook Pro. And there is a noticeable difference, mostly with the blacks. But I actually played around with the display settings and I was able to select a picture mode that I liked. Now that either fixed the problem that I was seeing or I've just completely gotten used to it now. I used to use my MacBook and whatever monitor I had side by side as two separate screens. So it's pretty easy to see any deficiencies on the monitor screen when constantly being compared to the Retina display on the Mac. This LG display isn't quite 4K, so you can see pixels in text if you look closely enough. But now I don't really use my MacBook's monitor when it's dark, so you don't really notice any of that all that much. Also, it's my first curved display and I really like the degree of curve on it. It's not a super dramatic curve, but it's enough to make the display feel somewhat immersive. So yeah, the extra screen real estate is delightful. When writing code, I used to have Chrome open on the monitor and VS Code open on the Mac, but then sometimes I'd want to put VS Code on a bigger screen. So I put it over on the monitor and swipe back and forth between that and Chrome. But now I can put them both on the same screen at the same time and not have to flip my head side to side or swipe back and forth between the two. I've downloaded an app called Magnet, which makes it super easy to arrange my screen. I can use it to neatly arrange my open apps on my display in a way that I want and not have to worry about dragging and resizing everything. When I'm editing YouTube videos, I go for it. I put Final Cut Pro on full screen and it's so good. I haven't yet done any photo editing on the new display, but I'm filming this on my new Sony a7 IV, so I'm sure there's going to be photos to edit soon. As for gaming, I'm not really a gamer. I occasionally fire up my PS4, and I've since moved it from the TV room into my desk here, and it's been great for a bit of Warzone. The image is sharp and the colors look great. The refresh rate is 60 Hz, and I guess that's not the preferred rate for gaming, but I'd never notice it, to be honest. The PS4 did originally try and scale the image to the width of the monitor, but all it ended up doing was stretching the image. So I had to tweak some setting on the PS4 to make sure it would maintain an aspect ratio that it could handle. The monitor has its own built-in speakers. The sound is pretty impressive through those speakers, but I stick to using the sound through the MacBook. When using the monitor sound, I can't control the volume using the keyboard. It has to be done in the monitor settings, which is controlled by a joystick on the underside of it. Overall, I love this thing. I'm really happy with my purchase. I actually found this monitor because I watched a video that Mayuko did reviewing the same monitor. So I'm going to link to that below in the description if you want to watch it over on her channel. I definitely recommend it if you're in the market for one. It wasn't cheap at almost £700, but it's something I sit in front of all day, almost every day. So it was definitely a worthwhile investment. I hope you found this review worthwhile. If you've made it this far, I hope this video has earned a like and maybe a comment below. And if you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing to this channel or try and get a new video out about once a week or so. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next video.